Hi, this is Painting Platinum number 62. I apologize for the description being wrong again. I changed it in the two places I know how to change them and it didn't work. So there's probably a secret third place where you have to change the description in order to get it correct. So maybe next time, or maybe we'll make it a tradition. Maybe we'll always have the wrong description for Painting Platinum. Either way, everything was a lot easier today to set up. Kind of getting used to doing everything by myself on Saturdays, so that's good. We're going to continue working on the Bog Witch. Let me see if I can't get this. I think that way. Hope everybody is having a good weekend. Let's see. So we're going to continue working on the Bog Witch. I think today the major thing I want to do is change the color of this cloak because I don't like it. I did it orange and didn't like it, and then tried to do some kind of blue glaze, but it didn't work. So I'm going to do something different. I think, okay, so I'm working with the Pathfinder, but I really wanted to use a color like black indigo because, probably because I've been making it a lot and I've started to really, really love it. Probably in a Stockholm Syndrome sort of way. So I'm going to use, I believe, 9504 Sione Scarlet, 89533 Oslanti Violet, and 89546 Bismara Black to make sort of a black indigo color. Oh, hi, No Bad Zeke. Anything fun and exciting going on? Let's see. So I've ended up with kind of a brownish violet, which when I learned about mixing color in school, I was told that violet is a perfect mix of blue and red, but it would end up looking brown. So sometimes you had to add more of one or the other, which is kind of what I have. Plus I added black. So at least with our black, it tends to make things sort of green, which would usually mean it needs a little bit more red. I think I've got too much red. So I'm going to keep adding violet. This isn't exactly a blue. This is almost an indigo itself. Just got home from work. Last night was fun. FanFest keynote, they announced male Vera. So the player base is losing their minds largely. It's amusing. I like that. Hi, Valander. So today I'm going to give away, for every 5 subs, I'm going to give away a bottle of a ReaperCon color that I believe is going to be in the swag box. It's called Rusted Anchor. It's a really pretty rust color. I think you guys are going to like it. There is a There's been a sort of request for a rusty sort of red. Yeah, ReaperCon preview. So, this is something I made for RVE, but it didn't end up going in, so I had it ready to go. So I was really excited to use it. But at least on my monitor, it's more orangey in person. Obligatory color might look different in different lighting and on different monitors, but it's a nice, pretty rusty color. So I really like it. And it's kind of, I think it would make a good auburn color. It looks like it would go well with the auburn triad. So yeah, that's what I got for today. So it's flat. I have not started my ReaperCon metallics. I think I might do that today. I was pretty excited yesterday because I went to, I've gotten to where I love Tractor Supply. I don't know if that's everywhere in the US or whatever, but could be a Southwest thing, but go to this Tractor Supply and they just have a bunch of tools, and they have, the main reason I go is because it's really close on the way home, and they have cat food, so I can get the big old feral cat bag of cat food. But I got these goggles, so I'm really excited to flake metallic with goggles on. It's all very boring, but the metallic is so tiny that it gets up in the air and it gets in my contact lenses and eyes, and I wear a respirator, but if I don't make sure it's sealed and on properly, I will go to the bathroom, and in my nose, I'll look up my nose and I'll have usually gold on the back of my nose and the back of my throat, which is probably fine a couple times. I just don't want to make a habit out of it. Keep metallic out of my orifices as much as possible. Hi, Calvin Crafts. So, I don't know, or that could honestly, maybe the metallic flake would send me into my superhero form. Exposed to metallic paint, I'd be some kind of sparkly mutant. That might be worth checking out. But it certainly wouldn't make Reaper very happy. So maybe not. I was talking about metallic flake the other day in Ron's office, and one of the sculptors heard me talking about it and gave me sort of a chemistry/history lesson. So I was talking about, Shiny Sadie, usually once a week, telling me that I was talking about flake with aluminum in it and how it can't be used in water-based paints. And I had done this experiment. I've talked about it before, but I did this experiment. I made a metallic with aluminum flake in it and put it off to the side. It looked really ugly. Like, it didn't look like it should have looked. I was like, oh man, that's ugly. And so anyway, I put it to the side. I'm flaking metallic a few weeks later, and I thought, oh, I still need to try that stuff out. And then I thought, oh no, I did try that stuff out. And then I remembered seeing this bucket floating around that was like caved in on itself. And when I saw it, I just thought, oh, somebody must have stood on this bucket like a step stool. But then I realized, oh no, that is the experiment bucket. And it's a not happy chemical reaction. So anyway, I was talking about it with Ron, and Kevin, one of our sculptors, was telling me that aluminum and salt water makes a really deadly chemical reaction. And I think they discovered it on ships, like that maybe in some sort of war situation, your ship gets hit, salt water gets in, and aluminum mixes with salt water and becomes super, super hazardous. So that is my little tidbit of, I don't know, chemical history, whatever, useless information for most people. Not for me, not useless for me, but thanks, Aishan Loki. don't know if you heard that. But the Pugh brothers both have really loud cars. So you can always hear them either pull up or it's thunder. You have to decide, like, depending on the time of year, is that thunder or is that the bosses leaving? It's like having a bell on them. So yeah, I'm going to get this out of the way so we can focus on our bog witch. So let's take a look. I need to differentiate my wood from this copper, finish the crystal, decide exactly what I want to do with the clothes. So far I just have white on them. Let me see if this turning off that light's gonna help. That's not great. Well, shoot, we're just gonna have to, I wasn't the best about grabbing everything I needed today. Like literally today, I think I'm gonna break down and buy a lamp for work, a mag lamp. Well, Galvin Crafts, the flake is the glitter. The high gloss would be the like the finish. So the metallic base is pretty glossy. It can't be matte because then it would take away from the sparkly effect. But it's water based. So everything we make at Reaper is non-toxic, and we're pretty set on keeping it that way. It just makes it a lot easier for young people using it, and for shipping. So apparently there's differences in what you can ship depending on what's in it. So I think it's more simple for that. Plus I like it better. Corky Gal says, hey Sadie, a couple months ago I won a bottle of pure silver metallic medium. Is that a paint or is that like Vallejo metal medium? So what I would use it for is I would use it like a medium. It just has very little pigment in it. No, that one has no pigment in it. So you can add pretty much whatever you want. So you can take metallic paints and add those and customize a color. Or if you're into inks, you can use inks. I would like to make some glossy clears so that you could tint a metallic color and not have any flattening in it. Because if it's flat, it's going to take down the shine. It's not going to be as shiny. Howdy, Albevison. You're welcome. The feedback I've got is that it's more pearlescent, that you're not going to get like a super, super high metallic sort of look to it. So yeah, but that's what I would do with it. Sort of like, Anne talks about if you want to make your own metallic, use 9100. It would be sort of like that, but it would just have no pigment in it. All right, so I'm going to go back over the cloak again. These colors are, I guess, what I would call the MSP core. What's it called? The MSP core consistency formula. Okay, so what am I working on? I'm working on 24 colors for ReaperCon. I've got them all formulated on a small scale. They just have to be formulated in gallon form, which is just a boring, complicated thing that I do so that I'm not making a whole bunch of paint every time I make new colors. Then once that's done, let's see what's coming up, what I can talk about. I'm making our ghoulie bag colors, and then I have some cool new stuff planned for after that I won't talk about too much yet because it's not set in stone. But yeah, and then it'll be on to, oh gosh, I feel like there's something else in there, but then on to RVE. I think we've got a new fast palette coming out too. I just don't know when. We just don't want to shove it in until we know that we're going to be able to get it out when we want to get our other stuff out first. So Kickstarter, I'm almost done with the paint. I know I've been saying that forever, but we're doing it just a little bit differently this year. So normally I would just make it all. I would just bank whatever we make and they would make it until it's gone. But so I have stepped away a little bit from production and been doing just mixing. So I don't really decide how much we make of anything, what we make, when we make it, whatever. I just make the stuff and it gives me more time to work on new colors. So the way that Cindy's doing it is we're making it, assembling it, counting it, making it, assembling it, counting it. So every week or so, I'll have a new assignment of how much Kickstarter to make. So I know we're near the end, like real near the end. And then I believe those colors are going to go into production. So we'll have a little left over to sell for the time being. I don't know if those will be a permanent addition, but yeah. Galvin Crafts, I really doubt that hallowed orange would go in because hallowed orange is a special color. So any of the colors in the 9600 range are holiday colors, and they usually only come out for their holiday. But generally you can find something pretty similar. I'm trying to think. We have I think 9201, 9111. Gosh, there's got to be other ones too within the bones line. There's a few kind of not super bright oranges out there that are good. The only thing that I really feel like I need to find, kind of desperately need to find an alternative to that we don't have right now is the bright skin. It's something I didn't realize until somebody needed it, and I had to text Anne and say, like, what do you recommend? And she was like, oh yeah, about that. We don't exactly have that. So, but with the reds, oranges, blues, greens, we have a pretty good, we have pretty good coverage of whatever. I'm trying to think what else you could do. Oh, so hallowed orange is not going to be in the Ghoulie bag this year, but there is going to be something kind of neat that's similar. So we'll, let's see, we'll announce that relatively soon, I'm sure. I try to do different colors every year. I try not to get too monotonous with it, and I try to make sure, because sometimes we'll just do in production colors. So I try to do that. This is so sloppy, guys. I did not bring my readers. My whole ride here was, what did I forget to bring today? And so today was my readers. This isn't working, so I'll have to go through and lighten it. I think what I'm going to end up dealing with is it being too close to the skin, but not close enough to be in harmony. Yeah, I try to. Let's see. So what do I want to do? I want to cover up the orange that's on her shirt. So I need a white. I'm going to use something I use when I mix, and I just make a super, super cool white that's high coverage and really matte. That is true. She does live in a bog, but I don't want it to be an orange bog. So let's see. So we're supposed to have We're supposed to have rain at least this next week. I don't know about storms, but I've been driving myself crazy watching storm videos on YouTube. And I don't know if it's because a few weeks ago we had a storm. We've had a couple storms with tornadoes, and I've watched the radar and looked up. Probably what it was looking up live weather on YouTube. But I've been getting suggestions for these tornado videos, and I've been on them. I've been on them so hard. And it's just so fascinating. Like, I'm so scared of tornadoes. Like, I'll have tornado nightmares, the whole bit. But just something about seeing them, it's just insane. Like, it makes me wonder, you know, living in Texas, the next time there's a tornado nearby, would I be that person? And maybe this comes with age, right? Would I be that person that instead of just getting in the hole and whatever, go out and see if I can see it? Which I don't recommend, but it's what everybody does around here, and it's always super pissed me off. So maybe it's that I've grown into an old Texan. And old Texans don't just, they tend to not just go to their safe space. They tend to go out in it. I don't even know what would happen if I saw something like that up close. It's been just a long time since I've, knock on wood, seen any kind of crazy weather, but some of that stuff's just unimaginable. And where we are, we're not exactly in Tornado Alley. I think we're at the very south end of Tornado Alley, but Aspire painting, I've talked to Justin about whether or not to make an Instagram or something. I might in the future. If I start streaming on my own, I probably would. But I was actually thinking today, I probably need to start watching more classes from ReaperCon, etc., and maybe make kind of a short video of my progress so far that includes stuff I've done that's finished. I feel like there's a couple things, this sounds horrible, but I think there's a couple things I've just thrown away because I just don't know what to do with them once they're done. I don't play any games, so it almost just feels like, well, I got new clutter and knickknacks. You know, what am I going to do now? So I don't know. But I probably should post them. But to be honest, I haven't really liked anything enough to post it yet. I still don't know what is going on with her hand, except that I really don't like it. I don't like to criticize. I'm sure the sculptor had a really good idea in mind. I just don't know what the hell it is. Maybe she's got like big old claw-like hands anyway. But this hand over here, just like, what is that? What is that? I have no idea. I can't tell. Yeah, I could do that. The hero dragon. Or throw them in what I like to call back into the cosmic soup. The crucible, if they're metal. So let me see how close I can get to her face and make sure it's not looking crazy. I love this sculpt. This sculpt has the cutest little face shape, and it's made it really, really easy to not hate it. I'll tell you that. I need to go back over her chin where I got the cloak color. What a nightmare up close. I've heard it's pretty common to feel that way. I need bionic eyes soon. We need to make that happen. I can't take it anymore. I can't paint under these conditions. I need supervision. Trying to find my colors that I use. Let's see. Maybe I put stuff back on the bottom after last. Okay. Yeah. Need microscope, please. Let's see if I ever heard back from Justin. I don't think I did. Oh well. I'm glad too, Chrome Bones. It's good to see you. I'm trying for the second time to recreate the skin color that I made. I should honestly have a whiteboard where I write these things down. I don't know why I don't, but I don't. So I get to guessing game. Gallon Crafts, it is so much harder, to be honest. The only easy part about it is for everyone else, is for production. Because there's no like confusion of, oh, she's here, but she's not here sort of thing. Like on the clock, off the clock. Yeah, but for me, it's like, it's a little bit more difficult because I don't have Justin as support. Thank you, Chrome Bones. I do, like, I have called him a couple times, like, not to, that would make it sound like I haven't had to use Justin's support, and I have, but then that sucks for Justin. But it's easier for production. And everybody wants that. Nobody wants production unhappy. So. I think I added a color I didn't need in there. Where I really want to touch up though is like right below this clothing. So if they're a little darker, it wouldn't be a huge deal. So I might just need to settle on darker and get that going. But yeah, that was the main thing, is that I would be here and then later there'd be like some kind of confusion and Ed would be like, well, they just don't understand how you're here and not mixing. So since switching to Saturdays, that hasn't happened, and it's been wonderful. And as long as I get up here and get it going, it's fine. It just depends on how hard I push myself during the week. Because sometimes on the weekends, I'm just like, I don't want to get out of bed. But there's always something to do. So I've agreed to give my boyfriend a haircut this weekend. And so that's my other thing I have to do this weekend. My family makes fun of me because they'll invite me to things and I'll be like, oh no, I have another thing that weekend. And they're like, well, you couldn't have two things. I'm like, no, I really can't. No two things for me. I think it's next weekend, maybe the weekend after. No, I think it's next weekend. I'm going to be farmhouse sitting. And I've never done that before. So I usually house sit for cats and dogs. But on this particular weekend, I'm going to be house sitting for 2 cows and a calf. It's my cousin's house, and we have a new baby calf that was born on Mother's Day. So cute. They're little white cows. And there is a baby lamb. She's not really a baby anymore. We'll call her like a toddler lamb. And a tortoise. And I think there's going to be goats and there's chickens. So I actually asked my cousin, I was like, what's your tornado plan for the animals? Do you bring them in? And she's like, no, they're weatherproof. I don't even know if you could get a cow indoors. I think you can, because I saw this Reddit video going around, or post. I can't remember if it was a video or pictures, where somebody was building a house and there was some kind of flood and storm and blew the door open, if I remember correctly. Cows got in the house and basically just like chilled in there and lived in there for, I don't know, had a good amount of time in there and wrecked the place. But I don't know if they had a big door. Like a big, like garage door or something. I don't know. But yeah, so I'll be farmhouse sitting. I will not bring the animals in the house. And they have 2 dogs, but the dogs are going to go with the kids to their grandparents' house. So that's probably good. I like dogs, but the kids, I can't house sit kids. I've never done that before. I'm not everybody's go-to on babysitting. My rather unfiltered manner of speaking isn't ideal, I don't think, for most people to have around children. Let's see. Can get a cow anywhere. My high school had a couple pigs and a goat and a cow on senior prank day and FFA presentations. Oh my god, that's funny. I've been really close to the idea of becoming a vegetarian, because I don't know. Just the more I see about cows, like I used to think, I don't know, I'm kind of scared of most things. So I used to think cows were mean and would bite you or could kill you. And while I think they can, I don't think they're usually not nice. There's a subreddit that's happy cow gifs, and so sweet, like people laying down and snuggling with cows and stuff. So sweet. Now pigs I don't trust. I know a lot of people have pet pigs and are really into it and really like it. That's great for them. Oh my god. Wouldn't that be funny? I have not heard anything about it, but I can throw it out there. Petey Pizza Dragon mascot. Oh my god, that's so funny. But you know, I would imagine it would be expensive to create a mascot uniform. Maybe not, but I've heard at least the furry people outfits are a lot of money. So, I don't know, maybe. We could put them out on Teasley. Yeah, even stingrays, Valander, anything can get you. I have those feral cats and I love them so much, but they scare me. And I'm sure they can tell. Like, I think most animals can tell if you're scared. But, so I have these 2 ferals, actually 3 ferals, but one is super, super skittish. But I have one that's more aggressive, but she'll also come up and rub on my legs. And I'm totally terrified of her. And then one won't get near me, but will kind of come a little closer. And then there's one that'll totally run away if I come close. But yeah, even with them, I'm like, I don't trust these guys. Love them, don't trust them. And I'm always scared everything's rabid. I really need to trap them and take them in. I just know how mad they'll be. And it scares me. Giant guinea pigs. Oh, let's see. Mascot outfits, unless having a base model to work on, tend to cost a pretty penny from what I understand. I deal more with foam style props and such though. Yeah. The hero dragon, MK says, give me that dragon. I got the animatronics. That could be something too. I don't know where it was from, but I saw a video of a Jurassic Park, I don't know, some theme park, Jurassic Park I don't know if it was animatronic or it was a video, like a, I don't know, but it looked really real. It freaked me out real bad. We need a pizza paint pack, LO cheesy sauce dough color box. Oh my God, that'd be so good. The only thing about that is that I super duper try to keep Anne rules. Not Anne Rule, but Anne rules. And one of her things is she really didn't like to make food colors. So I try and keep like on brand. You know what I mean? But I think there were a couple that we did, but they were also like, we made a salmon color once. It's not in production, but salmon's, you know, an animal. And there was something else. Ginger cookie was one of them. Let's see. Oh yeah, people love ginger cookie as a skin tone. And I'm sure other things. The Christmas paint set is really good. I would not be surprised to see the Christmas pistol case paint set go on sale in the summer. Not saying it's going to, but I wouldn't be surprised. It's something we talk about a lot. Let's see. You could just make the cheese based on Craft American Singles. Cheese paint based on Craft American Singles. That's not real food, so it doesn't count. Let's see. So I do like to call one of the colors macaroni and cheese, and I think it's 9007. Neon red glow is almost salmon, a little too orange, but almost. Yeah. I've gotten really into the bright colors. It's not something I've always been about. I really like muted colors, but lately there are a couple of colors. Particularly there is, let me think what it's called. There's an orange that's coming out in the new Kickstarter colors that's so pretty. And I just cannot remember what it's called. I'm getting out of it, guys. I don't label paint anymore. Don't pump, don't label. But it's super pretty. I'm really looking forward to that. And there's a pretty bright green. I like hearing what the pumpers like to call colors. Their little unofficial names. I can't remember what any of them are right now, but there was one that was pretty funny recently. They're tired of black indigo. Lotus orange, yes, and leaf bud green. Lotus orange, so pretty. So pretty. I love it. It's one of those colors that you like, it's so pretty you almost want to eat it. Which probably means I have something wrong, like pica. But you don't eat it. Don't ever eat paint, not good. Non-toxic does not mean food safe. That's my PSA for the day. But there are lots of pretty purples and indigos in the Kickstarter paints. But my people have said a couple times, what have they said? No more. One of the guys says no more indigo, no more. Hold on, I need to make sure my plug is working. Oh, it's not. That's what's wrong. Am I plugged in? Okay, good. I'm plugged in. I almost lost you guys. That would have been catastrophic. No licking brushes. I don't think it's bad to, like, you know, do the whole finger spit thing, though. I've been using soap to shape brushes because I'm really hard on brushes, so I try to at least store them and reshape them when I'm not using them. So I use soap, and I have a brush shaper that I bought. I do this thing where I'm like, I absolutely need this for whatever craft, whatever I'm using. Like, can't wait, have to buy it, need it now. And I have not used it yet. But I got pink soap and brush shaper that I brought today to try. My last mixing apprentice was like awesome. He was so good, so helpful, took such a load off of me, like just such a weight off of me. But he dipped like the whole brush in paint and I was like dying inside. I was like, don't get it up in there, which I'm sure is what Anne thought when I started. Because, yeah, but I've gotten a lot better about my brushes because I do acrylic nails. My two house panthers are too clumsy. Ralph hopped into my lap from above the cat bed and Carlton from below and whacked headfirst into each other in the middle of my lap. Oh my god. They're chasing each other around the house now. I love cats. They're so sweet. Kickstarter Rich Indigo is inspired by the 29847 Rich Indigo. I believe so. I'm almost certain. The only one I think yes. Yes. I was going to say something about Ashen Brown because we brought back Ashen Brown, but there were two Ashen Browns. And I don't know if I chose the one that was originally intended to be the Kickstarter Ashen Brown, but it's what we got. It's what we're doing. So, useful either way. Okay. I'm going to try and get in on this face. Really, like, right now, I would be totally thrilled to cover a lot of this white space. I did make kind of a little facial, did I cover an eye? I didn't. I did make a little facial, what is it called in Skyrim? War paint? I made a little Skyrim-esque war paint, but I'm going to have to cover it because it ended up just looking like I missed a spot. Oh, my cats are usually affectionate. I like to delude myself that it's because of how I raised them rather than just getting lucky with cats genetically disposed to snuggles. I don't know. I think a little bit of it is you. I do think. Nomad Zeke says, my house panther never gets on my desk anymore. He tried to jump up and once landed in the rinse water. Oh, that's not lucky. Volcano Brown is one of my favorite paint colors. Sad it got discontinued. I think it's Rugtarki Flesh from the RVE colors that is very, very close to Volcano Brown, because Volcano Brown, I didn't see you. Oh, it is a catastrophe. I'd never ignore a pun. If I see a pun, it's got to register. I have strong feelings about puns, either positive or negative, depending on the pun. Anyway, yeah, Rugtarki Flesh, I believe, is the Volcano Brown color, because I super, super like Volcano Brown, but I really tried to stay out of it when we decided which colors would be discontinued. I know that I'm not the best judge of what's useful, so I try not to put myself in between a color and discontinuation, but that and Maggot White were my sad ones. Maggot White's my favorite. I think Maggot White's my favorite. Nah, no offense or no aggression taken from that. Love Powder Burn Brown, but I wish it was more opaque. As it is, it's the only good dark, very desaturated brown, so I use it instead of thin brown liner. That's good to know. I'd like to make another really dark brown. That's one of the things I think I have coming up in one of the new projects. I really like dark brown, and I've heard that it's really useful because it looks better than black, like flat black. I wanted to do a whole fast palette of clears that were, glossy or like semi-glossy, but I haven't pulled the trigger on that. Not that I'm the only deciding factor, but I haven't done that because I just don't know how useful it would be for other people, even though for me, I would super love it to be able to mix color and have a sort of custom finish to it. I would like to learn how to use shine more in painting miniatures. But I've talked to a few artists around here, and they didn't seem just like super stoked on it. They didn't say it was a bad idea or anything, but they were just like, eh. So it's not something I'm going to really shove. I would like to make new inks because we don't have a lot of inks in production. And inks are good for that from what I've read. Because I knew nothing about inks until I started looking into it. The only thing I know about inks is like fountain pen ink. So you could do that Crow and Bones, but because they have the mattifier in there, it's kind of hard. And then also, when I made Chum Red, I experimented with making colors glossy. And I think I did that thing where I just looked at it too long, but it was kind of hard. That's true too, Valander. And that's what's kept me from it, is you can just use gloss sealer. The only reason that you would want to do it is to make a custom metallic. And how often are you really going to do that? So for now, I don't think that's going to be a thing. It's definitely not high on the list. And this is it's pretty close to set in stone, but we released some of those, what were they called? Mystery paint bags. And I had some and prototype colors that went in there. And I think those are coming out in the ReaperCon colors, and they're liners. Chum Red is just a gloss blood color. Yeah, grab bags were from discontinued, but they all had like one extra color in there. And there were some, it was like Winter Shadow, Rogue Shadow, and shoot, what was the other one? Sky Shadow. Those are the ones. Those are the ones. Now, I did experiment with something different around Chum Red. But it was too thick. Like, our bottles are pretty specific, and I don't remember who I was talking to. I think it was Michael Collins, and he was like, if you put a paint in this set that acts different than paint, you're going to get so much confusion and so many questions. So I was like, well, that's a good point. We'll put it off. But I did a lot of that, and Ghostfire were the colors that I probably spent the most time playing with. I definitely would have the Mighty Jabberwock. What ended up happening was it ended up being a very thick color, but that's more just based on some colors are very thick. And that's actually one thing I'm in the process of right now in mixing, is trying to get more consistent viscosity in the paints without changing the way they function, because it's hard to pump some paints, and they aren't the paints you would think. It's pretty surprising, and it's really frustrating for our pumpers. So I'm super trying to do that, so that, because essentially we're just having a really hard time figuring out how things were going to be produced, like production time. So we have washes. That's always going to be a thing. We're not going to get rid of washes. So we're always going to have kind of a wild card there, but we're just trying to make regular paint similar to other regular paint. Sorry. Got a little rogue hair in here. It's driving me crazy. I don't know if I should go for this yet. I think maybe I should keep trying to cover white space. I think I'm going to get rid of the bright white and use Kieran Stone on the white, so I can kind of see what I've missed a spot on and what I want to be off-white. I really do like the washes. I wouldn't mind putting new washes in there too. what I really wanted to do is something that we do in nails, and I don't think it would be super useful again, but sometimes on Instagram, and I don't know if this is everybody, but at least for me, videos will come up of nail or makeup, whatever products that are just kind of weird. And there's a nail polish that is super thick and stretchy, and you can stretch it and make really fine lines. So I was going to do that, but we don't really have the packaging for it. So maybe one day. Let's see. What's your favorite figure coming out in the Kickstarter? I really, really, really like the busts, and I hope we sell a whole lot of busts and we start making more, mostly because my eyes aren't that great, but they're so pretty. Let me see if I have one handy. I don't, and even if I did, I probably wouldn't want to show it off so close to Kickstarter because they're going to be a little different. I think they're, what's it called? Like 3D prints or whatever. Sky Shadow is very, very sheer, but very intense. It's just a super pretty color. I'm not sure about the usage either. What would I use that for? Me personally, I'm not an expert, so I just have to give you like my idea of what I would use that for. I feel like I would use that like a clear, and I could see it used like, for whatever reason, the first figure that came to mind was the Djinn. How it has like clouds and I don't know, I could just see the Djinn painted with really soft coloring, and I could see a color like that being really, really useful in the Djinn, in like tinting little kind of clouds and have it being really subtle. Crows and Bones, I need to do the opposite. I need to buy other brands of paint, or have Reaper buy me other brands of paint so I can get out of my little sandbox, because even though I never painted minis the Reaper way, when I was maybe, I think I was 11 or 12, I came and toured the factory, and Dave gave me a metal Velocithrax and one of all of the Pro Paints. And I think it was the Pro Paint 2, the like second version still in the pots. And I painted with those. I painted my nails with those. I painted on paper with those. I painted on my Converse with those. And I'm really used to the way Reaper works. I've used their paint mostly in design class in college, but I'm super acclimated to using only Reaper paint. So it would be a good idea for me to just spend time looking into what other people like and why, because there are other paint styles I'm sure use different things. Oh, yeah. And so another thing you can do, Valander, is I was looking at Anne's class for thinning paints, and she talks about using brush on sealer as a medium to make washes. And I never thought about this. And you can do this, but I just thought you make washes by adding water. But if you make washes by adding brush on sealer as your medium, it doesn't break the paint. So the pigment still stays in solution it's still like an acrylic paint. So I bet you could take that and sort of customize the thickness of a color. Not that I'm not sure how you would do that with a different line of paints. I'm sure you can. I'm sure people do. I just don't know anything about that. Yeah. Liquitex Ultra Matte Medium. I used some Liquitex stuff in design class. After watching Josh's show, I just make my own thick washes with water. Yeah. Quick shading armies. Yeah, Nomad Zeke, I've heard that, and I've heard that inks are really good for that. I've heard that inks are sort of old school, so not everybody's into them, but that they're really good if you're making a quick like commission piece, like a really, really cheap quickie, or for a game and you want to bring out details really quickly. But another artist told me that you still have to do a little bit of work to get, I don't know, to like get it looking right, even if you do use an ink. But I do kind of want to do some more stuff for that, because there are people like myself where I think I would prefer to just mix all my own colors. Like, I would prefer to do kind of what Anne talks about, how you can have a tiny little travel set and pretty much mix any color you want. I'm really into that idea, but I just enjoy mixing colors. So everybody's going to have a different sort of taste, sort of idea of what they want. And I also think there's a specific, and I could be wrong, and this might be like controversial, so I don't even know. I just hear people talking about stuff, and I know very little, but enough to get myself in trouble. But I've heard that there's certain techniques that are not correct. Like, you can paint anything how you want, but there are certain techniques that are accepted and used often in the hobby. So I'm sure a lot of what we make kind of goes with that, but not everybody wants to get into competitions or collect pieces. Some of them just want to make little armies and stuff. Aspire painting. Okay, says, I'm partially colorblind and I don't trust myself enough to mix my own paint. There is... Okay, so there's two things. One thing is, I did not hear this from this person, so I won't go into who it is, but I've heard that there is an artist that is colorblind and mixes paint. I don't even know why I said it, because I don't know exactly how to explain it, but mixes paint with two colors and has a way of figuring out what it is based on what they mix. But I found this thing on Reddit that I use a lot. Oh, I don't remember what it was, but I saved it. I'll probably bring it up. I'll probably just show it on my document cam, but bear in mind that my phone is seen better days. So I saved this. I think this is the first post that I ever saved in Reddit. And I think it was in one of these, let's see. Maybe it wasn't a comment, maybe it was a post. But I did see something kind of cool. What's something cool you've recently learned about? Hold on, bad reception. You've recently learned about. And one says the average color of the universe is hex code FFF8E7, which is called Cosmic Latte. It was only after the calculations were corrected, and before the correction, it was believed to be a minty turquoise green. So anyway, that's one of my color things that I've saved that I think is really, really cool. And then there's also this website. This is what I was thinking about. There is this website, and it is for... I don't even know if I know what it's for. No, it's not that one. Shoot. Anyway, it's, you put a color in and it shows things that work with that color, like other colors that work with that color. And it also shows how that color looks to people who are different kinds of colorblind. Forgive me, this is bad content, but you know what? I'm probably not going to find it. That's so upsetting because it's so useful. Oh, okay. It just had to load more because I really do think it was the first thing I ever saved. Okay. Yeah. Let's see. A website that provides a bunch of information on colors such as hex codes, RGB values, and how they look against other colors and how they appear to people with color blindness. Colorhexa.com. So again, I don't know if I used this correctly, but it's something that I've used before. So you go to this color and it brings up color information, all these codes, color schemes, and then at the bottom, it's got shades and tints, and Then, okay, yeah. So then it has different kinds of color blindness simulators. Monochromacy, achromatopsia, atypical achromatopsia, pratinopia, deuteranopia, tritanopia, protanomaly, deuteranomaly, tritanomaly. That sounds like deuteranomaly sounds like if somebody made a drunk history, but there was like biblical drunk biblical. Colorhexa.com. Anyway, I think it's really cool. Let's see. When I made a wash for a miniature Monday paint along, I tried to be smart and add wash medium. It actually ruined the wash. It didn't work like Josh's did. I've done that. I've taken a couple of classes with my cousins at a church, and it's this girl that we'll see you later, Valander. I know how that goes. I did that last night. It was like time to go to bed, and I tried to fight it, and I spilled Red Bull on myself, which woke me up. But yeah, so we'll see you next time. Let's see. So yeah, I take these classes with my two cousins at the church, and it's this girl that I think she's a new art student. So I always want to do something a little bit different in her classes, and then my stuff doesn't turn out the same as anybody else's. And when she walks around and looks at everybody's, I feel guilty because she knows that I did my own thing, and I just can't help it. I can do what everybody else is doing for a long time, and then I start to put weird stuff, like I'll put like rats and I don't know, like rats in my drawings or crazy stuff. Hi, Doc of Flock of Flame. Let's see. Aspire Painting says, I'm an anomalous trichromat. Deuteranomaly. Deuteranomal. I'm going to stop. It's something, though. I'll look it up later. Aspire Painting. Have you ever used those classes that like show you what stuff looks like? I've heard that can be like, I know a guy who has, and it was actually pretty emotional for him. It's sort of cute. So I was a lot younger, so don't judge me too much, but I was in my cousin's wedding, and I was a bridesmaid, and her color, like her bridesmaid color of our dresses was orange. And normally, like, now I'm 30, I'd keep that to myself. But at the time, I was like, so why are we wearing orange dresses? Like, I don't know where I was, there a rehearsal or something. And somebody told me it was actually the sweetest thing. It made me feel like such a jerk. They said the groom is colorblind, and one of the only colors he can see is orange. And I was like, oh my God, that's so cute and romantic. I'm the worst. I have used the glasses. I could tell the difference between reds and greens more easily, but it tinted everything and didn't work well for painting. Oh yeah, I could see that. I watched this thing about landscape painting when I was out of the office for a couple weeks, and it was talking about painting landscapes and how it's actually really useful to paint landscapes in grayscale, because you get to practice with the value of the subject, like what you're painting, and it makes you better at it, because value is actually a lot more important and more difficult than people think. I'm getting a little nervous that I've put too much paint on this mini and I haven't thinned most of it. But we'll just see how it turns out. And you know what? If I mess this one up, I'll go grab another one and I'll paint it again someday, because it is so cute. I seriously cannot recommend this mini enough. It is so cute. I think I made this comparison before, but it reminds me of when I had like 3 guy friends start working out, and one kind of knew a lot about working out, and he was like, we're working out our glamour muscles first, because these guys will get real motivated when they can tell the difference. I think that if you paint something that's going to look really cute, even if you're not very good, it's probably really helpful in keeping you motivated. Now she's starting to look blobby, but that's okay. I'll just have to be more mindful of being more accurate so I don't have to go over things over and over again. And I might start making a sort of digitally colored mini in the beginning, or painting it first so I know what I'm doing, because I really do start to hate the look of how things are when I go over them and over them. I think I'm about finished for the day. We're not going to do a giveaway this week, so we'll just plan to do it next week. I'm like really close to being finished with this mini. So over the week, I'll decide a few things I want to do. I want to figure out what I want to do with this hand. I've kind of given up on doing what's intended for this hand because I really don't know. Maybe I'll look at what other people did. Another thing I want to do, I want to make the staff more like wood, like put some highlights and shadows on that. And then I want to do some shadows in her hair at the root to make it look more like hair. Let me turn this off. So those are the three sort of things I want to do. And then I think I want to highlight the skin. I think I want to go lighter on the skin. So let's see. It's because they're in their ugly phase. Got to push through that. Yeah, it sucks so bad. It's so hard. But that's okay. So yeah. So next week we'll do that. And I'm going to make it another goal for the week to figure out how to make the notification description accurate. I've literally, like, it's going to be something crazy simple. Last week I told Justin, I was like, I'm sure I don't have like editing permission on the Reaper Twitch anymore. I was like, I'm sure of it. I know it. Somehow it got messed up. And then I got off the phone with him and started playing with it. And I was like, update. I'm not very smart. So, oh my gosh. And if any of you guys watched Reaper Live, I had every technical problem you could think of on Reaper Live. I was so mad by the time I got through, and then I just had one of those episodes where I was just like super full of it. So I'm sure you guys don't mind. I mean, you're watching this show, right? But then I felt bad. Like I'm sure it throws the guys off when I'm super silly. But welcome to life with me, right? Sometimes we just have to love each other for who we are, silly and all. All right. Well, that's all we're going to do for today. Hopefully next time we can finish it and we can do our tarot card, and then I can start seeing, if I can find a mini based on the tarot card that kind of goes with and matches it, which will be really cool because that'll mean I'll be forced out of my box. I won't be able to just pick something that's super cute. So, I've already been thinking of tarot cards that would be kind of hard to recreate. But I bet if you took the symbolism of all of it, plus the colors, you could figure it out. It was fan favorites last Reaper Live, right? I'll have to watch the VOD. I don't remember. I actually don't remember. Yeah. I don't remember what we did. We talked a lot about, Kickstarter. But yeah. All right. Good night, guys. I'm going to find us a raid. Actually, I'm going to find us a raid first. See what kind of interesting stuff we can get into today. Let's see. Art. Ciao. Mighty Jabberwock. And I'll go through my little personal algorithm of sometimes related to what we do, but also sort of unique and fun. I'd like a sculptor. I like this. But I'd like to go to somebody who doesn't have as many viewers. Oh, we got the jar of peanut butter going. That is interesting. Let's see. Oh, it's not in English. Okay, so we're gonna watch something with a little bit more viewers, but that's okay because it looks related to the hobby. So we are gonna raid Jaina? No. Miss Jaina. All right, guys, we're gonna raid Miss Jaina. So share the Reaper love and be safe and have fun, and we'll see you soon. Mwah! Bye.